Riddled with box office disappointments like Elio, Ballerina, and Mithrigan 2.0, June 2025 was the weakest June on record at the box office outside of 2020 and 2021. This is a story that's fallen under the radar amidst the hype for Superman, Fantastic Four, and Jurassic World Rebirth. But we shouldn't gloss over how historically empty theaters were in June. And it did not help that the month's main attraction, How to Train Your Dragon, didn't soar quite as highly as anticipated, nor that May holdover Lilo and Stitch was more front-loaded than you'd like to see from a big Disney family movie. Overall, business in June came in at $830 million, down 14% from June 2024 and down 17% from June 2023. Not a trend line you want to see in an industry that's supposed to be recovering. It's even worse when you look to prior to 2020. 2025 was down a whopping 28% from 2019. And that's without even adjusting for ticket price inflation, which is a way of estimating attendance. By that measure, June 2025 was down at least 41% from the same June in 2019, and it gets even worse the further back you go. Industry shills might point to 2001 and earlier as having lower grosses than 2025, but 2001 ticket prices, for instance, were less than half of what they are now. So, congratulations, movie industry! You made the same money as 2001 from less than half the people. Anyway, here's the breakdown of the June box office. How to Train Your Dragon led the way with $203.4 million, representing nearly a quarter of the entire month. It's a fine number for that picture in a vacuum, but it wasn't the franchise glow-up the industry needed for DreamWorks' first live-action remake. You see, it's not likely to achieve the attendance levels of the 2010 original. Dragon was followed by Lilo and Stitch at $141 million, but that was less than hoped for after its ginormous opening in May. But it's really the rest of the June slate that didn't do its part. From the world of John Wick, Ballerina. What a misguided attempt at franchise expansion. And its $56 million tally bears that out. A nearly 70% decline from John Wick Chapter 4. Not because it looked like a girl boss movie, but because it was a confusing prequel or spin-off with a new unknown character straining to convert a character-driven franchise into a world-driven franchise, and a character franchise that seemed to have already peaked in 2023. 28 years later was a Lego sequel to a relatively niche zombie franchise. Sure, it had a banger of a trailer, and that helped it get business that was solid by zombie standards, but anemic by summer movie standards. And Elio, the requisite June Pixar release, but it had little else going for it. Many blame the tarnished Pixar and Disney brands for this failure, and there is some truth to that. Yes, those brands have been cheapened via poor quality and Disney Plus, but more impactful than that was Elio's unappealing premise and execution. Sci-fi animation is a tough sell, particularly when it looks indistinguishable from Strange World or other sci-fi slop that audiences have already rejected. Sure, F1 the movie injected some excitement into the market, but a car racing sports drama can only do so much. And Megan 2.0? That's arguably the biggest facepalm. Counter-programming something like F1 was fine, but everything else? Woof. A total misread of the room of what made the first Mithrigan a hit, and a premature bid for a Terminator 2-style glow-up. Anyway, I'm not pointing out the failure of June to be alarmist or clickbaity. Whenever there's a box office boom or a bust, it's almost always about the movies on offer. This past June simply did not have the movies to excite the box office. Look, 2025 as a whole was gloomy until a stronger slate came along in April, namely a Minecraft movie and Sinners hitting the jackpot. While May was always guaranteed a jolt from the inevitable monster opening of Lilo and Stitch, May 2025 was so much better than May 2024 that despite this terrible June, summer 2025 is still running about 13% ahead of summer 2024. And it is understandable to ignore June a bit. I mean, July is typically the bigger month at the box office. In fact, in this century, June was bigger than July in only 3 years, 2014, 2015, and 2018. Hell, July is typically the biggest month of any year. So now the fate of the July box office rests on Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman, and Fantastic Four, because there's little else going on. Anyway, that's it for now. For more updates, be sure to subscribe to Box Office Revival. This has been Brandon Gray, creator of Box Office Mojo. Thank you for watching.